Okay, are we ready? I'm ready, Kathy. Okay. Well, good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm Rex Peebles. I'm Assistant Commissioner for Academic Quality and Workforce at the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board. This webinar has been prompted by a conversation that started between myself and Commissioner of Higher Education Raymond Paredes and a Deputy Commissioner, David Gardner, about a year and a half ago or so, where we started talking about trying to craft some kind of strategic plan for graduate education in particular. Some of this was done in conversations in conjunction with the new higher education strategic plan, with some thought that a plan more specific to graduate education might be useful, both to us at the coordinating board and particularly for institutions in trying to determine what we need and where we need it in the future. And to assist us in that endeavor, we've enlisted both the Graduate Education Advisory Committee, but we've also commissioned a study from the RAND Corporation to help us sort out the details of this. And so I'd like to introduce Dr. Charles Goldman and Dr. Rita Karam from the RAND Corporation, who will tell us about the study they're going to conduct. So without any further ado, Charles, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Peebles. Rita and I are very pleased to be here with you today. We have a short presentation for you with the overview of the study, and as we'll tell you, we'll be back in touch with you in the future with various updates. You probably know that graduate education is a big enterprise in the state of Texas. Public universities and health-related institutions actually have about 2,300 graduate and professional programs, and last year awarded 44,000 graduate degrees. In the past 10 years, there's been quite a bit of growth. The number of degrees awarded has grown by 40%, and universities have proposed 494 new graduate programs over the past 10 years, of which 403 were approved. Interestingly, universities also closed and consolidated a similar number of programs over this time period, so the total number of graduate programs has remained fairly constant over the past 10 years, even while awards have grown by 40%. Now, as Dr. Peebles mentioned, you've just adopted a new 60 by 30 strategic plan covering the next 15 years for higher education in the state of Texas. And among the ambitious targets in that plan is a call for an 80% increase in the number of degrees and credentials awarded in public higher education in Texas. Now, while there's not yet a specific target for graduate awards, we could expect quite a significant increase in graduate awards to go along with that 80% overall increase. And we will be working with the Graduate Education Advisory Committee, GEAC, and the coordinating board staff to provide background and analysis that will be helpful as you move forward and formulate the strategic plan for graduate education. The study has three objectives. First, to broadly assess the need for expanding graduate programs in Texas higher education institutions. Second, providing guidance to the coordinating board and the institutions on how to prepare and evaluate graduate education program proposals. And third, analyzing policies that can help the state to best manage the needed expansion of graduate programs in Texas. We're planning to carry out this study using 6 tasks, which you can see on the slide in front of you. And I'm now going to turn the microphone over to Dr. Karam to brief us quickly on the conduct of the 6 tasks.
Thanks, Charles. As Charles indicated, in order to meet the objectives, the 3 objectives of the study, we will be conducting 3 research tasks that are interrelated. Okay. So we will begin We will begin by reviewing the coordinating board's inventory of the graduate programs and the criteria used for classifying the programs. We will also interview state and higher education system stakeholders regarding the criteria regarding the programs in general and the criteria they use for reviewing, approving, and evaluating their graduate programs. We will also obtain information regarding different employment markets that graduates enter. And based on that, we will develop criteria that describe different aims and markets for graduate programs. In addition, we will examine graduate program expansion policies and practices in 3 other states that are similar to Texas in terms of size, keeping in mind that the structure of the higher education system in Texas is different. The states that we will target are California, Florida, and New York. We will interview state-level stakeholders as well as higher education stakeholders to understand the mechanisms and the practices that they have put in place to manage the distribution and expansion of graduate programs among their public universities. And this will help inform policy choices open to Texas. And an aspect of examining the benefits of the education graduate programs in Texas is to really understand whether the current graduate programs are meeting the economic needs of the state as well as the nation. We will collect reports that are available on strategic goals and labor market and occupation projections. But specifically, we will also analyze specific data sets that will allow us to identify occupations that have high demand for graduate degree. And of those occupations, we will identify those that are projected to grow in future. And based on this information, the labor market information, as well as information from the coordinating board and other stakeholders, what we will do is select a handful, about 6 fields, and we will conduct case studies to examine these fields in more depth. Specifically for each of the fields, we will interview stakeholders from relevant higher education institutions and employers to understand the quality of the programs, the type of students that they serve, the type of skills that the students develop, and job placements. We will also collect financial information from these institutions to estimate costs and revenues associated with each of these graduate programs in the sample fields. And using the analysis and the finding from the previous tasks, we will work closely with the coordinating board, and we will also elicit input from the Graduate Education Advisory Committee to recommend ways in which information from the labor market and benefits of graduate programs could be used and inform the development of proposals, as well as evaluating the proposals pertaining to new graduate programs. And finally, we will interview higher education institutions in Texas regarding various options for managing expansion of graduate programs, as well as the constraints for these different options. And we will triangulate this information with the information that we obtain from the 3 different states to identify principles to guide policy decisions regarding expansion of the graduate programs. I'm going to return this to you.
And just since we are researchers, we are kind of obliged to point out that every study does have limitations. We will be using, as Rita said, a variety of qualitative and quantitative methods to try to get at the issues in this study, and so we believe that that will increase the reliability and the confidence that we can have in the findings of the study. Here's a tentative schedule for your information. We're intending to come back at the end of March 2016 or beginning of April 2016 to update the cause board committee, and around the same time to engage with GIAC and to also offer updates to you stakeholders. We're targeting a draft report in May of 2016 with a period of public comment and discussion to follow over the summer and fall, finalizing the report at the end of 2016 and publishing it by early 2017. And if you've got any questions about the study or you've got any comments that you'd like us to consider or be aware of, we provide here Rita's and my email and Alan Mickey's email at the coordinating board, and we certainly encourage you to reach out, email us anytime you have either questions or comments or just something you'd like us to know. And we very much appreciate all of your interest and engagement in this study, and we look forward to coming back to you in a few months with some updates.
Well, we thank you for joining us this morning in this short presentation, and there's much more to come, and we certainly look forward to working with each and every one of you.